So today my goal is to finish up the loose ends in the back of the vehicle, back of the RV, and get ready to take the jack stands out of the back and lower the back down to the ground. And hopefully soon after that, in the next few days, I'll be able to get the front down as well. But the back is easy because I've changed the differential, put on the rear dual tires on each side, and I just want to double check the brake line connections back there, make sure there's no leaks in there. I don't think there are. I think I've got them all solved, but I'm going to go check one more time. Now this isn't quite in the back, but it's this is the new line I put back because it was rusty, and this is the old line, and this was a pre-existing junction. And I typically feel junctions just by rubbing my finger underneath and just feeling if it's wet or looks wet. I'm not feeling anything here, so I think it's fine. It's good. So now we're going to go crawl to the very back and look at the junctions that go in from the T that feeds the two rear drum brakes. So I'm looking at the right rear wheel, and I'm looking at the connections that go in. It looks dry to me, just some recent rust because those are brand new parts, but I don't see a leak there. And this is the area I really wanted to check right here. This is the T, and I can see a drop right there of fluid, but it was sitting right on this corner here. So I'm going to guess it's this one, but I'm going to tighten them both up a little bit. Again, I don't want to wreck anything. So I don't want to tighten it too much, but it's definitely leaking. So I turned that about 1/8 of a turn, and I really don't think the bottom one's leaking. I think it was that top one. So I'm going to take it probably another 1/8 of a turn. Okay, that's pretty tight. And I'll just see how this feels. Yeah, that's turning pretty freely. Maybe that is where it was leaking from, because this one seems a lot looser. On the other side, so, and I can get under here even with the vehicle all the way down, so I can come back and check this after I lower it. Now let's go to the other side where it connects into the wheel. There, I can see them back there. And they look pretty damn dry to me. There's also this joint up here, but it seems to be perfectly dry even on the other side, and it's really tight, so I don't think I have to do anything with that. So I need to jack up the RV enough to take this jack stand out, and I'm looking at where I had put it before, and I can see here the marks from it from when I jacked it up originally. I didn't make a video of it. And here's a hydraulic bottle jack. It's a 20-ton. And it obviously won't reach that high. So what I had done is I had stacked a bunch of 2x8s on the floor, on the ground, and then put this on top of that. And that's what I'm going to have to do. So one of the things about jacking up heavy vehicles, this is a 12,000 plus pound vehicle when it's empty. It's at 6 tons, so theoretically 3 tons front, 3 tons rear, and 3 tons is about the limit of most DIY home floor jacks. And yeah, it could possibly pick this up, because especially I'm not taking all the weight, because some of the weight is still on the other side. But I'm using a 20-ton bottle jack just to be extremely safe, and I did the same thing when I jacked it up. So let's go ahead and get this, see if this is enough. I still got to have enough room to drop it down enough to be able to get the jack stand out, but I want to make sure that the jack can be removed as well. So I don't want to have to put it back up on a jack stand again. So I think this will work. It's making contact. The problem is I keep hitting the propane tank over here. You can't see it, but and it is officially loose. Here, the jack stand's moving, so I can pull that pin out. Still have to jack it up a little higher to be able to release the lever. Probably another 1/2 inch. See if that did it. There she is. So now I'm able to get the jack stand out. Okay, so there it is. So as you can see on the other side, I still have the jack stand on the other side, so I'm getting out from underneath it completely. Just kind of let it down as slowly as I can. There it comes. I think the weight's on the tires now. There we go. Yep, it's loose, so I can just slide it out of the way. I'm going to slide the blocks over to the other side because that's where we're going to be next. So we're on the left side here, and this is kind of pushing over the brake cable, the parking brake cable, but it's about the right place. And here's the jack stand right next to it. So we should be in good shape. I'm going to make sure it's tightened up, the jack. It is. So now I'm going to carefully jack it up into place. Still not loose. Okay, it's starting to come loose, so I'm going to take out the safety pin. And now it's just a matter of getting it loose enough that I can pull this out. It's getting there. Oh, still got to go up a little higher. The handle won't release. It's just, I'm going to go get a mallet and just tap this. I think it's just stuck. I think if I just tap this up, yeah, released. All the way out. Okay, that's out of the way. And I'm out of the way, so I'm going to slowly release this. And we should see her come down. There it comes. Still coming down. Okay. I think it's down. Let's see if it's loose. Yep, loose enough. There we go. Okay. So the dunnage out of here. I'll have to be readjusting my parking brake, but it is engaged right now. So that's it. The back is now down after over a year up on blocks, up on jack stands. It's now down. So there it is on its own rear weight anyway. So over the next few days, I'll be working on getting the front end cleared out so I can get the front end down. I'm very happy to be getting the motorhome back on its wheels and that much closer to a test drive. So thanks for watching. If you're interested in similar videos, please like and subscribe. Bye.